Good morning. Welcome to Horizon Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Beth Blake Hedges. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm serving as your worship associate this morning. I'm joined by our worship leader today, April Barlow, whose pronouns are she, her, hers. We are excited to welcome you to our worship service this morning. We're so glad to have you with us today, whether you're joining us in person or virtually, whether you're here for the first time, or whether you've been here for longer than you can remember. Here at Horizon, we welcome people of all faiths and of no faith in particular. Whoever you are, whomever you are, love, wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome among us. Please be our guest after the service for coffee and conversation in the fellowship hall. As a community, we also welcome the sharing of joys, sorrows, and concerns. You are welcome to fill out a joys and sorrows slip on the table near the Welcome Center, in the pockets of the chairs, the back of the chairs, and on the Joys and Sorrows table in the front of the sanctuary. And/or you're welcome to light a candle. This can be done anytime before the service or in service from the beginning through the Offertory.
Our call to worship this morning is from Michelle Collins. Changes abound, around us, within us, between us, in our communities, our neighborhoods, and our beloved faith communities. Changes abound. May we each find the balance point we need as we move through our ever-changing world. The balance between the old and the new, between the known and the unknown, between the familiar and the perhaps bold and risky possibilities that may be there waiting.
Our chalice lighting this morning is for Francis Cozier. We light this chalice today as a people dedicated to personal growth. May it burn away the oppressions we have been taught and glow instead with the humility of learning. May it reignite our dreams for a better world and kindle our joy for simple living. May its warmth extend out into the forgotten alleyways of exclusion and bring us home to love, to welcoming, and to all the challenges, the questions, and the blessings of this beautiful path to becoming a beloved community. Please join me in our affirmation, which is printed on the back of your order of service and projected on the screen behind me. Love is the doctrine of our church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in harmony with the earth. Thus do we covenant together. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our opening hymn, number 1054 in the Teal hymnal, Let This Be a House of Peace.
This be a house of peace, of nature and humanity, of sorrow and elation. Let this be our house, a haven for the healing, an open room for question and our inspiration. Let this be a house of peace. Let this be a house of peace. Let this be a house Let this be a house of peace. Let those in this house seek truth, where scientists and mystics abide in reverence here. Let this be our house, a house of our creation, where works of art and melodies consecrate the atmosphere. Let this be a house of peace. Let this be a house of peace. Let this be a house of prophecy. May vision for our children be our common theme. Let this be our house of myth and lore and legend, our trove of ancient story and cradle of our tender dreams. Let this be a house of peace. Let this be a house of peace. Let this be a house of peace. Let this be a house of peace.
All right, I have my wonder box, and I need some helpers up front to help me find out what's in here. So I'm going to ask the young and the young at heart to come up front. All right. I wonder if one of you would like to help me first. How about you? Do you think, is it heavy? Give it a try. It's pretty light. Okay. Does it make a lot of noise? Kinda, yeah. So here, let's go see what's inside. Can you take off the cover and bring out what's inside? Oh, it's a stuffy, a stuffed animal. In fact, this is my daughter's stuffed animal when she was about your age. Her name is Lila. And I see some people brought their stuffies from home too. What's your stuffy's name? Oh, yeah, something Junior. Julia Junior. How about yours? Batty, yes. Can you hold them up so everybody can see them? So I bet you all have stuffed animals too. Oh, we have one down here. Do you mind talking about yours? But it's a Mickey Mouse, but it's like a cool Mickey Mouse, right? Okay, because we're in middle school now. Yeah, how about yours? Wilbur? Oh, I love that. It's a pig. So I'm sure all of us, even if we didn't bring it today, have things we love like this. So I'm just going to ask a couple of questions. How does your lovey make you feel? I know we call them stuffed animals at my house, but some people call them stuffies, some people call them loveys. How does it make you feel? I'm just hugging this now, and it makes me feel really good. How about you all? Good? Happy. A lot of feelings, I bet. Yeah? Joy, yeah. Well, and so we're going to talk about stuff today at church. Let me just look at my notes so I make sure I don't forget some of the things I wanted to tell you today. So anyway, I loved hearing your answers, and it sounds like you get lots and lots of joy from your stuffed animals. And so you might be wondering, why are we talking about stuff at a church? Because usually at church, I don't know, when you're grown up, you learn that you shouldn't want to be attached to material things. Material things get in the way between you and God or the divine or the sacred or something like that. But you know what? I think our stuff sometimes can mean a lot to us. And I think maybe sometimes our stuff does not get in the way of us being a spiritual person. So, what I wanted to say is, I feel like that sometimes our stuff can help us connect to our spirituality. How many of you sleep with your little stuffy in bed? Yeah. And do you get tucked in with your stuffy when you go to bed? Yeah, that's called a ritual. Do your parents say, good night, and good night, Julia Jr.? Do your parents say good night to them and tuck them in too? Maybe? Well, I know that's something we used to do with Lila, and that's what we call a ritual. A ritual is something that we do over and over again to bring meaning to our lives. And so there's maybe things at your house that are very meaningful to you, you adults, that you use. You might not use it as a ritual, but I brought this stuffy because it reminds me of when my daughter was young. She's not very young anymore, but it makes me feel good. And anyway, stuff doesn't always have to be a bad thing. I think sometimes adults like me get shamed into having things. Aren't you downsizing? I think stuff can be important too, as long as we control the stuff and the stuff doesn't control us. So thank you so much. Lila says thank you too. And now we're going to go ahead and sing you to your rooms.
May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
Let us take a moment to honor the ancestors of this church, the people who first came together to create a home for liberal religion here in North Texas, who worked to raise money for a building, who sat in committee meetings and created bylaws, who chopped and marinated and baked for potlucks, who painted and weeded and pounded nails and washed countless dishes, who gathered to worship, to learn, to grieve, to heal, to serve, to build justice, to transform their lives and the world. We are the recipients of an incredible gift and a beautiful vision. Let us do our part to keep this congregation strong, vital, and thriving for the generations to come. Thank you to our members and friends who give and pledge electronically. If you would like to give electronically, you may do so on the Realm app or online at horizonuu.org/donate. The offering will now be joyfully given and received. Thank you for your generosity.
Questa o quella per me pari sono a quanta tre di torno mi vedo che il mio cuore l'impero non c'è come io ad una che ad altra beltà la costoro emanenza e quando no da chi il fato mi infiora la vita soggi questa mi torna gradita forse un'altra domani sarà un'altra forse un'altra domani sarà. La costanza tiranna del cuore detestiamo morbo qual morbo crudele so chi vuole si serva fedele non d'amor se va non libertà dei mariti il geloso furore dei amanti le smanie derido manco d'argo i cetocchi de sfido de mi punge se mi punge una quacia beltà. Una faccia beltà.
from Mary Oliver. I own a house, small but comfortable. In it is a bed, a desk, a kitchen, a closet, a telephone, so forth. You know how it is, things collect. Outside, the summer clouds are drifting by, all of them with vague and beautiful faces. And there are the pines that bush out spicy and ambitious, although they do not even know their names. And there is the mockingbird. Over and over he rises from his thorn tree and dances. He actually dances in the air. And there are the days I wish I owned nothing, like the grass. We now take the time to honor the joys and sorrows of the community, knowing that we are all interconnected and that what affects one affects us all.
We have a sorrow from Velvet, from Maya. My dad is in the ICU right now. They're trying to figure out what's going on with his heart. Prayers are requested. A sorrow from Judy Mader, feeling sorrow for the passing of longtime Horizon member and pioneer John Myers. He gave so much to this church, bringing us small groups, wisdom circle, men's support group, candlelighters, and much more. Another sorrow from Bobby Lambrecht. I lost my uncle last month, a week before I was set to visit him in Wisconsin. We light a candle this morning to honor all the joys and sorrows which have gone unspoken and reside only in our hearts. Please join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation in whatever way feels right with these words from Helen H.P. Rivers. After the reading, we will have a space of silence, which will be broken by our responsive hymn, 1009, in the Teal hymnal, Breathing Meditation. Meet me at the altar of banned books, Blanket Fort Sanctuary. We will dance to a chorus of children's laughter. Meet me in the joy, the sorrow, beneath the rainbow banner. Bring your questions, cares, concerns. Bring the glitter in your pocket and the sparkle of your smile. Bring your heavy heart, your favorite mug, your very best swear words. Set down your very bravest face. Meet me in the heartbeat between what has been and what will be. Meet me in the flicker of our eternal flame. We need not face this moment alone. Blessed be.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe
Rose Mulligan. Dust if you must. Wouldn't it be better to paint a picture, or write a letter, or bake a cake, or plant a seed? Ponder the difference between want and need. Dust if you must, but there's not much time. With rivers to swim and mountains to climb, music to hear and books to read, friends to cherish and life to lead. Dust if you must, but the world's out there. With the sun in your eyes and the wind in your hair, with a flutter of snow and a shower of rain, this day will not come around again. Dust if you must, but bear in mind, old age will come, and it's not kind. And when you go, and go you must, you yourself will make more dust.
Sink full of dirty dishes, newspapers all over the floor. Hoover it broke years ago, doesn't matter anymore. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going outside where nobody knows I'm there. I don't care. This couch is like a hammock, you could say it sags. I don't recall the last time I washed this sleeping bag. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going outside, nobody knows I'm there. I don't care. Say I got a problem, I think that it's true. Spending most of my lifetime being told what to do. Now I don't care. I don't care. I'm going outside where nobody knows I'm there. I don't care. Going outside where nobody knows I'm there. I don't care.
For a trigger warning, I will be discussing clutter and briefly talk about an extreme case of hoarding. This is not a comfortable subject, even for me. I will literally rather talk about death than clutter. Please take care of yourself and only listen if it feels right for you. Last year, I was honored to come up here and speak on my mother's death and the emotional and practical aftermath of her passing. One of the last things I discussed was the process of sorting and donating her possessions. Today, I want to expand on the stress of never having enough, the joys of collecting, the shame of owning a lot of stuff, and how to have peace with what you have in your life. This sermon is less about spiritual work and more about acknowledging a struggle that I suspect a lot of us have. We Unitarian Universalists are known to speak our truth, especially in the pulpit and in small private circles. This is my truth, and one that many might share but are too embarrassed to freely admit. I'm sure many of us remember our parents or grandparents explaining away their full garages or overstuffed closets to the Great Depression. We may laugh at how big a stereotype that is, but if you had to sell everything and skip meals to survive, I can see why a generation was tempted to overstock on canned goods, risk eating spoiled food, and hoard things that could be sold or repaired just in case. My family lived in the rural Oklahoma panhandle for 7 years during the 90s. If you ran out of food when the blizzards dumped 10 feet of snow on your house, you're out of luck. As pure coincidence, I've never been a fan of Little House on the Prairie. Years after we moved to the city, where food was less than a mile away on paved streets instead of 17 miles down a caliche road, Mom still shopped as if a village depended on her for a month's provisions. Cashiers often asked if we were shopping for a church. My mother took grocery shopping very seriously, buying cases of Dove soap and cotton balls like they were the last ones on earth. One of her favorite possessions was a huge white chest freezer in her living room, filled with packages of chicken rotated frequently so that the oldest expiration date was cooked and eaten first. It took almost 10 months after her death for me to finish cooking up all the chicken she had kept before donating that gigantic cold coffin. Along with the food mega buys, Mom hated that stores frequently discontinued perfectly fine products just because they had gone out of style. Her favorite blouse was readily available 10 years ago, but now it's out of stock right when she got a hole in her old one. Next time, she'll buy multiple shirts at the same time. That'll show 'em. She could find a use for pretty much anything, so nothing could be thrown out. Those plastic lids from the top of large yogurt tubs, perfect for gardening, sorting, or pretty much any time you don't want to use the oh-so-valuable Corelle saucers. Have extra tissues, portable bookmarks at the ready. Now have an empty tissue box by the chair. Turn it upside down to write a quick note on it, of course. Unfortunately, COVID turned a lot of people into someone akin to my mom, except she never really cared about toilet paper that much. The hardest part about hoarding is that it taps into a primal urge to react to danger and to stock up for protection from the dangerous world outside. Things soothe and stress us out at the same time. I like to think that my life and attitude towards owning things is very different from my mom's, but then I remember that I always keep a case of star-kissed tuna in my pantry for old time's sake. I still own a pair of black leather flats that I bought 15 years ago at Payless. They are square-toed penny loafers that make my left big toe go numb. However, the main reason I don't wear them is because I don't want the last pair I have in that design to wear out, and then I can't find them again at the store. While my mother kept a large inventory of things she used, I am more of a sentimental collector. I have the photographs, letters, and crafts that my family has kept for over 125 years. I also have the less valuable Halloween costumes, Christmas cards, opera programs, and comfy blankets. Things collect, as Mary Oliver wrote. I always hope that this is the last time that I'll need to tidy up, for real this time. But deep down, I know the truth. While I am lucky to not have a full-blown shopping addiction, I love my stuff. Instead of fighting a part of who I am learning to embrace this aspect of myself. My enjoyment of these things is what makes me me. It's also hard to let go of physical objects when you connect with them emotionally, especially as a pagan. We find value in everything. You never know what rock or coin can be used for a future spell, and once your ritual's complete, you're not just going to get rid of it afterwards, are you? I have the bark from a 300-year-old tree affectionately called Mama Beach, growing in Pendle Hill outside Philadelphia. Meditating at the base of Mama Beach as part of a spiritual exercise, I felt that the tree wanted me to have her bark I found loose on the ground. I assumed for a ceremony taking place later that afternoon. When I returned the piece that evening, I heard in my mind's ear, "When I give a gift, I mean it." As a result, I've kept that tree bark for 7 years and have no intentions of removing it from my home anytime soon. What do you do with meaningful things like tree bark that frankly look like junk to anyone else? Label it or record the story in a notebook? What on earth would I write? "This bark was given to me by an old tree who got mad when I tried to give it back"? While I acknowledge Mom and my obsession with things, I am so grateful that it never evolved into a worse kind of hoarding that horribly affected other family members and acquaintances. Most children are scared of Dracula or a monster hiding under their bed. My sister and I were terrified of becoming like some of our relatives or the Collier brothers. To summarize the Collier brothers' long, very sad story, it took Harlem police weeks to remove the 17 pianos, 100 tons of newspapers and junk, and their bodies for burial. While swearing off from buying anything is not only impossible, clutter and trash can still appear and consume your life. While we still lived in Oklahoma, an elderly neighbor's bed was filled with years of unopened junk mail, so much that the poor woman had to scrunch up into a tiny ball to sleep. With my mother's patient urging, the lady admitted that she was afraid of throwing away a check or cash hidden in an envelope, but was too overwhelmed to go through so many papers. I don't know how many hours my mom spent opening and discarding junk mail that had no money in it. Both women celebrated when the bed finally had enough empty space for the old woman to rest, stretched out and comfortable. I am in awe with how Mom managed to help her and take care of so many other responsibilities in her life at that time. I wish this was a normal outcome. Not everyone has the courage or energy to face a part of themselves and articulate why they're suffering, as our neighbor did. Few are as eager to save the day as my mother did. I truly wish that anyone who needs help can see it and have the strength to ask, but that is not always the case. All we can do is our best with each circumstance and take care of ourselves and those who are ready to receive aid. At least twice in my life, my sister helped sort and donate my things before big moves. Even so, I felt so embarrassed when I saw how many drinking glasses the movers boxed up in my apartment, or the realization that I'd saved more than one paper crown from medieval times. Unfortunately, decluttering is a never-ending project, if done correctly. Managing unwanted clutter is the ultimate impossible task. Those projects that look simple, but you just can't handle. You can sort through other people's things and quickly decide what's worth keeping. However, your own mess is an insurmountable burden. Earlier this year, I volunteered to sort clothes at the Dallas Public Library for Fairy Tale Closet, a program that gives away prom formal wear. For this project, I was tasked with organizing the suits, all donated by kind strangers, to see which ones were presentable enough for the next owner. It amazed me how easy it was for me to throw away clothes with holes and stains when I would have agonized over my decision if I had had a personal connection to them. What keeps us stuck in our possessions? I suspect feeling overwhelmed with choices, the deep emotional connection to things, trying to have control in an unpredictable world, as well as beliefs or anxieties that vary with each person. Our neighbor's fear of literally losing money is one, while I've experienced stress with just the thought of filling up landfills or donating childhood favorites after seeing a Toy Story movie. Thanks, Pixar. There's also the issue of what to do with your stuff if your children or heirs simply don't want it, or, in my family's case, there are no children at all. For my sister and my first birthdays, our parents gave us gorgeous Lane cedar chests. After our third or fourth move, Mom lamented that she should have given us something portable, like commemorative toothpicks. However, I love those cedar chests. I hope that they are bought and cherished by someone at an antique store someday in the far future, but that unfortunately is not in my control. I wish that my family had a new generation to pass on those most cherished items. However, having children so they might inherit your possessions after you're dead is a terrible reason to give birth. One day I will make peace that I truly can't take it with me. In the end, the only thing I'll have left is me, in whatever shape or form I take. The rest will go to estate sale shoppers, charity, the dump, and the IRS. Here's some unsolicited advice to you from someone who is clearly not perfect, but tries to do better and have peace at the same time. First of all, please listen to your friends and family. If things are seriously out of hand, causing you extreme emotional distress, involve biohazards, or you or anyone else in your home are in harm's way, consider getting outside help. You are a worthy person and deserve the best and have nothing to be ashamed of. If you need assistance, that decision could save your life. If you're of the opposite and have an immaculate minimalist home and only buy what you absolutely need, awesome! Enjoy it while you have it. Like many things in life, it can take one health or financial crisis to upend everything you've worked to secure. I'm generally tidy with recycling and trash, but when I got an ear infection last spring, I understandably let the daily clutter pile up after just a few days. Add a long illness or disability, and it makes perfect sense if things get out of hand very quickly. If you have limited time or energy, pick your battles. I used to clean my mom's apartment once a week for her peace of mind. Since her death, I still make sure that my laundry and dishes are clean, my home is presentable, and there aren't any bad smells. However, I don't scrub anything unless it's dirty. Dust does not count. It helps that I'm not a messy cook or person in general, but the contrast is stark. When was the last time I vacuumed my apartment? When I felt like doing it. When will be the next time I vacuum? Probably when I feel like doing it. Since I quickly clean up after spills and don't wear my shoes indoors, do I care? Not badly enough. If you feel up to doing some sprucing up, I recommend using advice that works and ignoring what doesn't. There are, ironically, numerous books and magazine articles that can clutter up your space and mind while claiming to help with that very clutter. I'm sure many of us were intrigued with Marie Kondo and her early methods, especially her catchphrase, "Does this spark joy?" I found her advice on sorting things based on category instead of room extremely helpful. However, I fully reject some of her ideas. Not everything in my apartment sparks joy. Cat litter and dental floss do not spark joy, but I still need it. I also disagree with her insistence to fold sweaters and socks, or limit yourself to 30 books. Yes, I said 30. 30 books. I Googled that to make sure I didn't dream up that pitiful number. Make up your own practices that work for you. When I'm unmotivated, I give myself the 5 things rule. I put away at least 5 things, mainly because that's my favorite number. Usually that encourages me to keep going until everything is picked up, or I just stop at 5. Either way, it's a win. Something is better than nothing. I've heard of people pretending to host a home improvement show, cranking up some heavy metal music, planning a dinner party with your mother-in-law, arranging to help clean a friend's home in exchange for them clearing out theirs, or setting a schedule for spring and autumn cleaning. Whatever works for you, go for it. I honor your life choices. If you have things that you don't want to trash or give to a thrift store, consider alternate places. Note that I strongly encourage you to not empty your entire garage for Horizon's upcoming auction. It's very tempting, but please have discernment. However, there are other terrific avenues for consideration. Every time my cat ignored a perfectly fine toy or food, not that I'm bitter, Capel Humane Society gladly accepted her rejections. I'm still so grateful to my fellow pagans for accepting boxes of offbeat items that just didn't feel right to toss or donate to strangers. Fun fact, half-price books buys back tarot decks and all your weird books, no questions asked. Finally, if you live in a healthy home, have space to move around, and mostly like what you have, enjoy. Let things flow in and out of your space. You are alive and have stuff that make you comfortable or you think is worth keeping. Mom felt peace when she didn't have to worry about running out of her favorite products. I have an adorable cat who plays with hair ties and empty cardboard boxes. I love my far more than 30 books. I am blessed with the room to fill with the many beautiful things I have, even if that pair of shoes make my toe go numb once in a while. When it's time to downsize again, the process will be unpleasant, but I have done it before. I know that I will struggle with my possessions my entire life. I hope that I will mostly stay as I am right now, at peace with what I have, and enjoying my life and home as it is. If and when I ever need assistance with clutter or any other challenges, I hope to have the courage and grace to ask for help. Most of all, I plan to always celebrate what I have in each moment, within and around me. Thank you for listening. Blessed be.
We extinguish this flame, but not our commitment to welcome radically, love boldly, grow spiritually, and serve courageously. This we do because we envision a beloved community filled with compassion, helping all to thrive in a just world.
I would like to invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our closing hymn from the virtual hymnal, Wherever You Go.
Go with grace wherever
Our benediction is by Birch Q. Take this as an invitation to imagine how wide this world can be, to face the closing doors before us and move toward the opening windows in our lives. Take this as an invitation to remember a critical truth, that none of us have it all figured out, that we help